Good morning, students. In the previous class, we are discussing about the defects in solids. We have discussed about the stoichiometric defects in case of solids. Totally, there are four different types of stoichiometric defects. First one is vacancy defect. Second one, interstitial defect. Third one, Schottky defect, and fourth one, Frenkel defect. In case of these defects, the stoichiometry of the compound does not changes. So before the defect and after the defect, the chemical composition of the substance or solid remains the same. The second type of defects we are studying here, second type of defect, that is non-stoichiometric defects. Non-stoichiometric defects. Right? What is the meaning of non-stoichiometric defects? In previous class, I have mentioned briefly about non-stoichiometric compound. Whenever the defect is observed or imperfection is observed in the solid, if the chemical composition of the compound changes, if the chemical composition of the constituent atoms or ions or molecules changes, such type of defects are generally called as the non-stoichiometric defects. So those compounds are referred to be as non-stoichiometric compounds. In all the non-stoichiometric compounds, the chemical composition is not corresponding to the molecular formula of the compound, and the defect observed in those compounds are called as what? Non-stoichiometric defects. So there is a change in the molecular composition of the compound, but in case of stoichiometric defects, what we have discussed in the previous class, the chemical composition of the substance does not change. That remains same even after the defect is going to be observed. But here, when the defect is going to be observed, the chemical composition of the compound completely changes, and those defects are commonly known as what? Non-stoichiometric defects. So the defects in which the chemical composition of the substance changes is known as non-stoichiometric defect, and the compounds are known as non-stoichiometric. The compounds are known as non-stoichiometric compounds. Non-stoichiometric compounds. Yesterday I have mentioned about some of the examples here. Examples of this non-stoichiometric compound Fe 0.96. This is O 1.0. Actually, according to molecular formula, the ratio of iron and oxygen is going to be in the ratio of 1:1. But here it is in the ratio of how much? 0.96:1. So it is an example of a non-stoichiometric compound. Sometimes we can go with the Fe 0.98. This is 1.0. Next one, it is nickel 0.96. This is 1.0. And you can go with this is vanadium oxide. This is going to be X, and generally the value of X in case of this one, it is ranging from 0.6 to this is 1.3. Generally 0.6 to 1.3. So these are the examples for what? Non-stoichiometric compounds. So the defect, after the defect is going to be observed, the chemical composition of the compound completely changes. Those are commonly called as stoichiometric defects, and the respective compounds are called as stoichiometric compounds. So next one we have to discuss about the types of non-stoichiometric defects. Non-stoichiometric defects. In yesterday's class, in the classification of the defects, we have discussed non-stoichiometric defects are going to be of two types. It is of two types. In this one, number one, it is called as metal excess defect. First one is known as metal excess defect. And what will be the second one? It is metal deficiency defect. What is this? The number of cations. Usually metal ions exhibit as cations. Metal ions are cations. The number of metal ions or cations, is more than total number of cations will be found to be more. But in case of stoichiometric defect, yesterday we have discussed about four types of stoichiometric defect. In that case, number of cations and number of anions, that remains the same. Composition does not change here. But in case of this one, number of cations will be more when compared to number of anions. In any defect, in the total number of cations is going to be greater when compared to number of anions. That defect is commonly called as what? Metal excess defect. And in case of this metal excess defect, again two types are there. So this is types of metal excess defect. Types of metal excess defect. What are the two different types of metal excess defect? In this one, first one, number you can write this one as A. This one A, anionic vacancy. First one is commonly known as what? Anionic vacancy defect. This anionic vacancy defect is a type of what? Is a type of metal excess defect. What's the meaning of anionic vacancy defect? Just you observe here, one of the substance I will consider here. So this is the arrangement of solid where different type of cations and anions are generally present. Actually, it is not in this particular format. Size of the cation is generally smaller when compared to size of the anion. If you take, this is found to be Na plus, this is Na plus, and Na plus, this is sodium Na plus, this is again Na plus, this is sodium and this is Na plus. In between two Na plus in a row, there is a presence of Cl minus, this is Cl minus, Cl minus, Cl minus, it is Cl minus, Cl minus, this is Cl minus and this is Cl minus. Well, this arrangement of Na plus and Cl minus, yesterday also we have discussed some type of defect in case of these crystals. If you are observing this one, right, if you observe such type of crystal structure, Na plus and Cl minus arrangement, in case of this one, when sodium chloride is going to be heated, this is going to be crystal of sodium chloride. Whenever sodium chloride substance is going to be heated together, after heating this particular sodium chloride, what happens? One of the chloride ion is going to be missing from its position. So this particular Cl minus is going to be completely evaporated. It is going to be missing from its corresponding lattice side. When this particular anion is going to be missing from this corresponding lattice side, this is going to be called as, commonly it is referred to be as anionic vacancy. This is commonly known as anionic vacancy. Whenever the Cl minus ions, one of the Cl minus ion from any position is going to be missing from it, this one. Whether stoichiometry of the compound remains same here, stoichiometry of the compound does not say. Stoichiometry of the compound completely changes because number of Na plus ions, only if you take this particular picture, total number of Na plus are found to be totally 8 are there, but Cl minus are found to be 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5, 6 and 7. Number of Na plus ion is not equal to number of Cl minus ion. Because of that reason, this compound is called as what? Non-stoichiometric compound, and the defect is called as non-stoichiometric defect. Total ratio of Na plus ion is to Cl minus ion. It is not equivalent to what? This is not equivalent to 1:1. Number of Na plus and Cl minus ion are found to be 1:1. Because of that reason, it is not equivalent. Because of that reason, the defect is called as the non-stoichiometric defect. But in any type of defect you observe, whether it is a stoichiometric defect or non-stoichiometric defect, but remember, electrical neutrality is completely maintained. In order to maintain the electrical neutrality, what happens here? One particular electron is occupying this particular position of Cl minus ion. From which lattice side the Cl minus ion is going to be missing. In that particular one electron is going to be trapped here, because of which the total electrical neutrality, how many negative charges are going to be there here? After entering the electron, total number of negative charges are going to be 8. Total number of positive charges are also going to be 8. The electrical neutrality is going to be completely maintained here after occupying that particular lattice space by a corresponding electron. So this defect is commonly known as what? Anionic vacancy defect. It is known as anionic vacancy defect. And this particular defect is going to be observed generally. It is observed generally after missing the particular lattice side by corresponding electron. So here I will mention here, this defect is observed. This defect is observed when an anion is missing from its lattice side. It is missing from its lattice side, and that lattice side is occupied by what? Occupied by an electron. Occupied by an electron to maintain what? To maintain electrical neutrality. To maintain electrical neutrality. So this defect is generally called as what? Anionic vacancy. What is why it is called as anionic vacancy? A vacancy is going to be created because of the missing of the only anion. So this is commonly called as anionic vacancy defect. Especially in case of these compounds, if you consider wherever anionic vacancy defect is going to be observed here, in case of compounds, every particular crystal is going to be showing the color. The crystals which show anionic vacancy defect, exhibit one or the other color. So wherever this type of anionic vacancy defect is observed, such type of compounds are exhibiting one or the other color. Suppose if sodium chloride is going to be heated together, NaCl is going to be heated together. This is a crystal of sodium chloride. When this is going to be heated together, it appears golden. The color of this particular substance is going to be golden yellow color is going to be observed. If you go with another one, potassium chloride, KCl compound. So this particular KCl compound is going to be exhibiting the one of the color that is going to be maybe violet color. This is going to be violet color. Like that, if you go with the lithium chloride, that is going to be exhibiting one of the other color. So the main color is going to be because of the presence of what? The electron. So here I write the color of the compound. The color of the compound. Color of the compound, or you can say crystal. The color of the crystal is due to the presence of free electron. It is due to the presence of free electron. Let me explain. So whenever such type of electron is going to be present in case of the lattice side of the respective anion, earlier it was Cl minus ion was present, now it is going to be occupied by an electron. When this particular substance is going to be heated, already I said it is atomic structure. Whenever some amount of energy is going to be supplied to an electron is going to be moving from lower energy level towards higher energy level. Suppose this is going to be the different types of paths of the corresponding electron. Electron is going to be present in the ground state. That electron is going to be migrating to the possible higher energy level after absorbing certain amount of energy. Electrons are absorbing certain amount of energy, so they are going to be excited to possible higher energy level. Again, from the higher energy level, they come back to their normal state or ground state by releasing certain amount of energy. And whatever the amount of energy is going to be released here, that particular amount of energy is going to be obtained in the form of one or the other color. So different compounds are going to be exhibiting different type of color. It is mainly because of absorption of different amount of energy. So here these electrons are going to be excited to higher energy level after heating the compound. Again they come back to lower energy level like this. During the return journey from higher to lower energy level, they are releasing certain amount of energy, and that corresponds to one or the other color as it is mentioned here. So the total color of the crystal is mainly due to the presence of what? This particular free electron, and this particular compounds are going to be exhibiting this anionic vacancy defect is also commonly it is known as color center. The electron is going to be responsible for that one is going to be color center, or it is also called as F center. It is also called as F center. Here F refers to what is the meaning of F. It's a German term. F refers to it is far bench enter. F refers to far bench enter, which indicates the color of the respective compound. Sometimes these particular defects are also called as F center defect. It is mainly because of this particular electron which is responsible for what? The color of the compound. That is mainly because of excitation of the electron and de-excitation of the electron. To excite from the lower energy level to higher energy level, it is absorbing energy. Again, from higher to lower energy level, it is going to release certain amount of energy, and that energy corresponds to one or the other color, and that particular one depends upon the total number of what electrons which are going to be exciting to higher energy level or the corresponding lower. This is commonly called as what? The anionic vacancy defect. And one more point to be remembered in case of this defect is, next one point, the intensity of color. The intensity of color mainly depends upon, the intensity of color mainly depends upon the number of free electrons. Intensity of the color mainly depends upon the number of free electrons. As the number of free electrons goes on increases, the intensity of the color also completely changes, and this type of defect is called as anionic vacancy defect. Clear? So here one of the anion is going to be missing from it. So like that, if you take the entire crystal lattice, then more and more number of Cl minus ions are going to be missing, because of which more and more number of electrons are going to be trapped. As a result, total conductivity of the substance is also increasing, and intensity of the color is also going to be increasing as the number of those electrons are trapped into the vacancy site. So this is going to be called as anionic vacancy site. So this defect is known as anionic vacancy defect. Very simple. Anionic vacancy defect is going to be arises because of the missing of what? Anions. And another important point. So this defect is going to be similar to the Schottky defect or Frenkel defect. Here one of the ion is going to be missing from its particular position. It is not occupying the interstitial position. So we can say that this defect is similar to Schottky or Frenkel. In case of Frenkel defect, it is occupying the interstitial position. Here question of that one does not complete. It is going to be missing from its corresponding lattice side. So this defect is similar to what? This Schottky defect. It is similar to what? Schottky defect. And any compound which is exhibiting Schottky defect also exhibits this type of anionic vacancy defect. So generally in case of alkali metal compounds, generally we are going to be observing such type of defect. So generally the compound which are going to be showing Schottky defect are also showing what? Anionic vacancy defect, because that is going to be similar. But what is the difference between this one and the Schottky defect? All points are not found to be there. In case of Schottky defect, in a particular crystal, the total number of cations and anions are going to be missing is going to be same. So number of cations and anions both are going to be missing, but in case of this one only anions are missing but not the corresponding cation. That is the difference. And this particular defect is commonly called as non-stoichiometry defect. It is called as stoichiometry defect. Even when the defect is going to be observed, chemical composition of the compound does not changes. But here, chemical composition of the compound changes. That is the differences and also corresponding similarities in case of this. Just to copy this one, I will go with next one. Take it fast. So next, this is the first type of metal excess defect. Why it is called as metal excess defect? It is a type of metal excess defect because the number of cations is more when compared to number of what? Anions. Anions are missing from their position. Second type, excess of cation occupying interstitial position. Excess of cation occupying interstitial position. What's the meaning of this one? It is also a type of metal excess defect. Two types of metal excess defect. First one is anionic vacancy defect. Next one is going to be excess of cation occupying the interstitial position. If you take one of the particular compound like zinc oxide. Zinc oxide is going to be a colorless compound. When this zinc oxide is going to be heated together, it is converted into Zn plus 2 plus oxygen is going to be eliminated. This is half O2 plus 2 electrons are going to be considered here. 2 electrons. Here I will go with the structure of zinc oxide. Here one sentence just I'll mention here. When zinc oxide is heated, it turns to yellow color. Just you remember this point. When zinc oxide is heated, it turns to yellow color. Why it turns to yellow color? We'll come across with that solution. Zinc oxide, generally the components of zinc are found to be colorless. You know, studied in D and F log element because zinc is a element which does not contain unpaired electrons. All electrons are found to be paired. Usually the compounds of zinc are found to be colorless. But when zinc oxide is heated, it turns to yellow color. It is mainly because of this particular reason. Okay, just observe this particular crystal arrangement of zinc oxide. Here, zinc and oxide ions are going to be generally present. I will mention here this is going to be Zn plus 2. It is Zn plus 2. This is Zn plus 2. Right? Zn plus 2. Zn plus 2. What is this oxide ion? This is O minus 2. This is O minus 2. Oxide ions are present here in between Zn plus 2 ions. O minus 2. This is O minus 2. Clear? Right. Okay. Whenever the zinc oxide comes, this is the structure of zinc. It is going to be a stoichiometry compound. Arrangement of Zn plus 2 and O minus 2 is going to be exactly perfect. But whenever the compound of zinc oxide is going to be heated, what happens? One of the zinc ion is going to be found here. That is going to be Zn plus 2 state. When Zn plus 2 state is going to be there, oxygen gas is going to be gets eliminated. So, because in the same crystal structure, one of the particular Zn plus 2 ion is occupying this particular interstitial position, this is the Zn plus 2 is going to be occupying at this interstitial position. Whenever the Zn plus 2 ion is going to be occupying in such type of interstitial position, you can ask why oxide ion? Oxide ion is going to be eliminated as gas, and moreover, the presence of the negative ion or the any particular negative ion like oxide ion, negatively charged species, usually does not occupy the interstitial position. Reason is going to be that size of the negatively charged ion or anion is going to be usually greater when compared to size of the cation. Interstitial position or white space is going to be very small. In that particular smaller interstitial position, larger anion cannot occupy generally. Because of that reason, the question of occupying O minus 2 at this position does not arise. It's only Zn plus 2. When Zn plus 2 occupies interstitial position, what happens to stoichiometry of the compound? When this particular change is going to be observed after occupying the corresponding interstitial position by Zn plus 2, now the ratio of Zn plus 2 and O minus 2, ratio of Zn plus 2 is to corresponding oxide ion. Whether it is going to be in the ratio of 1:1, earlier it was 1:1, but now this is going to be, it is not equivalent to 1:1. Why this ratio is not going to be equivalent to 1:1? The simple reason is going to be one of the such type of, in this structure, one of the interstitial position is going to be occupied by Zn plus 2. Because of that reason, the stoichiometry of the compound is completely lost. And such type of compounds are going to be called as non-stoichiometric compounds, and the defects in such type of non-stoichiometric compound is called as non-stoichiometric defect. And why it is a type of metal excess defect? Compared to anion, compared to negatively charged species, number of metal ions are going to be more. It's a type of metal excess defect. And why it is called as excess of cation occupying interstitial position? Everything is going to be clear. One of the interstitial position is occupied by the respective cation because of its smaller size. So this defect is going to be named as excess of cation occupying the interstitial position. Here it is not the question of missing the corresponding cation, it is not the question of missing the anion, it is a question of only occupying the interstitial position by an positively charged species of the corresponding metal ion. So this defect is generally called as what? Excess of cation occupying interstitial position. Just now in case of that example I have mentioned, whether this particular compound is going to be maintaining electrical neutrality in all type of defects, whether it is a stoichiometry or non-stoichiometry defect, remember the compound or the crystal substance generally exhibits the electrical neutrality. So here number of cations are going to be more in number compared to number of anions. In order to neutralize that excess amount of cation, what happens? The nearby lattice site is going to be occupying certain amount of electrons. So this position is going to be containing electron. When this position is going to be containing electron, these two that is plus 2 charge of Zn is neutralized by two different types of electron, and because of the presence of electron as well as Zn plus 2, the conductivity of this substance generally goes on, increases, and because of this particular Zn plus 2, whenever zinc oxide is going to be needed, it turns to yellow color because of the presence of Zn plus 2, and for which two electrons are going to be placed. As these electrons are going to be there, as I have explained in case of the previous example, because of excitation and de-excitation of electron, the compound exhibits one or the other color. So the best example is going to be zinc oxide, and this defect is known as what? Excess of cation occupying what? The interstitial position. It's a second type of metal excess defect. The second type of metal excess defect. So best example is going to be zinc oxide, right? So this particular, I'll explain with some of the words and sentences here. Number one, this defect is observed when an cation or metal ion is occupying interstitial position. interstitial position. Interstitial position. Right? Second one, electrical neutrality. Electrical neutrality is maintained. Electrical neutrality is maintained by occupying electrons occupying nearby interstitial positions. Whatever the interstitial positions are going to be there around the metal ion, that particular interstitial position is going to be occupied by the electron. If you take one chance of that is either only monovalent, Na plus or K plus or Rb plus, you can consider that one. Only one electron is going to be present here by this particular interstitial position. See, in order to neutralize the two positive charges of this Zn, I have added two electrons. If you go with aluminium, Al plus 3 is going to be added into this particular site, Al plus 3. Then how many electrons should be added? 3 electrons should be added. 3 electrons must be present in order to maintain electrical neutrality in case of those crystals. Next one. This defect is similar to whether Schottky defect or Frenkel defect. In case of Frenkel defect, a particular ion is going to be occupying the nearby interstitial position from its lattice position. Here also, but the difference is it is not from the same corresponding crystal element. Here it is not migrating. An extra ion is going to be occupying the interstitial position. So this defect is going to be similar to what type of defect? It is Frenkel defect. This defect is going to be similar to what? Frenkel defect. Frenkel defect is also referred to be as what? The dislocation defect. The dislocation defect is going to be there. So that is similar to what? Frenkel defect. Then what is the difference between? It is not exactly similar to Frenkel defect. It is similar to Frenkel defect because of the occupying cation is going to be occupying the interstitial position. What is the difference between this defect and Frenkel defect? Frenkel defect is going to be takes place in case of stoichiometric compound. This is going to be non-stoichiometric compounds. Next one. In case of Frenkel defect, one of the ion is going to be migrating from its normal lattice position toward interstitial. But here, no cation is going to be moving from its normal lattice, and extra cation is going to be occupying the interstitial position. So that is the difference between the excess cation occupying interstitial position as well as the corresponding what? The Frenkel defect. So this is the second type of defect commonly called as excess of cation occupying what? Interstitial position. This is about the two types of defect that is observed in case of metal excess defect. Copy this one, metal excess defect. Metal excess defect. Right? Second type of defect, number 2. This is second type in case of what? Non-stoichiometric defects. In non-stoichiometric defect, two types are going to be there. First, we have discussed about metal excess defect. Second type of defect is called as metal deficiency defect. Metal deficiency defect. Deficiency defect. In case of this metal deficiency defect, in this defect, as the name itself indicates, in this defect, the number of metal ions or cations is less when compared to what? Anions. There in case of the previous defect, the total number of metal ions or cations are more in number, but here metal ions or corresponding cations are found to be less when compared to what? The corresponding respective type of anions. And another important concept is, another important point, this defect is generally, shown by those elements. This defect is generally shown by those elements which exhibits variable oxidation state. This defect is normally observed in case of those elements which exhibits what? Variable oxidation state. Sodium cannot be considered here, potassium cannot be considered, alkali metals and alkaline orbital cannot be considered. It is applicable for what? The transition elements. Usually transition metals exhibits what? The variable oxidation state. So such type of compound can show this particular metal deficiency defect. It is found to be metal deficiency defect. In this one, metal deficiency defect, there are two types. Again, in metal excess defect also two types, in metal deficiency defect also two types. So here I write types of metal deficiency defect. Types of metal deficiency defect. In this one, number one, first one, A, it is cation vacancy defect. Cation vacancy defect. And how this defect is observed generally? This you observe here. You take the example of the compound. This is FeO, iron oxide. FeO is going to be considered here. Any particular compound which exhibits variable oxidation state is considered. This is Fe plus 2. It is Fe plus 2. This is Fe plus 2. Right. Fe plus 2. Plus 2. Plus 2, Fe plus 2, Fe plus 2, right? It is occupied by, this is O minus 2, in between that one, O minus 2, this is O minus 2, O minus 2, it is O minus 2, O minus 2, this is O minus 2. In case of this crystal structure of iron oxide, iron Fe plus 2 ions and oxide ions are going to be arranged like this. Oxide ions are going to be arranged like this. Fe plus 2 oxide ions. Cation vacancy defect means one of the lattice point, one of the lattice position, that is Fe plus 2 is going to be missing from its position. When Fe plus 2 is going to be missing from its position, Fe plus 2 is going to be missing from this position. When Fe plus 2 misses from this particular position from its lattice side, it is commonly known as what? Cation vacancy. In the previous type, anion vacancy, in case of the another particular example, there I have mentioned anion vacancy because anion was missing, but here cation is going to be missing. Okay, when cation is going to be missing from its normal side, whether electrical neutrality is going to be maintained here, there is no question of electrical neutrality. Total number of Fe plus 2 ions are found to be less in number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are going to be there. Total number of oxide ions are found to be 8. There is no neutrality of the corresponding positive and negative charges. In order to maintain electrical neutrality, what happens? Just you observe here, clearly just you observe here, this particular position and this particular position, wherever Fe plus 2 was present here, that particular Fe plus 2 is going to be converted into Fe plus 3. This is Fe plus 3 and this is going to be Fe plus 3. In order to maintain electrical neutrality because of the loss of the corresponding cation from this position, the adjacent or the nearby Fe plus 2 ions are going to be converted into Fe plus 3. Iron can exhibit the oxidation state of +2 as well as +3. +2 and +3 are the common oxidation state of iron. So wherever such type of variable oxidation state is going to be there, already it is going to be mentioned. This defect is generally shown by the elements in which variable oxidation state is going to be possible. So iron is going to be the example. Suppose assume that iron does not exhibit variable oxidation state, and these two particular ions which are in +2 state cannot be converted into +3 state. Here total number of negative charges and total number of positive charges you observe. Now the electrical neutrality is going to be completely maintained by changing the corresponding two lattice side from Fe+2 to what? Fe+3 state, and this defect is commonly called as what? Cationic vacancy defect. But right now in case of this one, even after missing the corresponding cation, whether the compound is said to be stoichiometric compound, no, it's not a stoichiometric compound. Completely stoichiometry has been completely lost here, because some of the Fe+2, some of the ion atoms are in +2 state and some of the ion atoms are in +3 state, and one of the ion is going to be missing from its data set. The question of stoichiometry of the compound is not at all observed, and this type of defect is called as what? Cationic vacancy defect. Remember, cationic vacancy defect. I'll explain, I'll mention about some of the points related to this defect, that is cationic vacancy defect. That is number one. First one, this defect arises due to missing of an cation from its lattice site. It is because of missing of an corresponding lattice site, and that after the loss of the cation it is called as what? Cationic vacancy. Second one, electrical neutrality is maintained by changing the oxidation state of nearby cations. So already I have mentioned these two cations are going to be changing their oxidation state from +2 to +3. Because of that reason, it is changing the oxidation state of the corresponding nearby cation, so that maintains totally electrical neutrality. Total randomness in all type of different randomness or entropy goes on, increases. Conductivity is going to be also completely increases here. Stability or lattice enthalpy goes on, decreases. But here the usually density of the solid, density of the particular substance does not decrease here. Density decreases because of the missing of the corresponding ion, but it is going to be observed in condition is going to be wherever the element which exhibits a variable oxidation state in all those compounds, this defect is going to be generally observed. It is commonly known as what? Cationic vacancy defect. But thing is that here cation is missing here, but that particular electrical neutrality, that two positive charges are going to be balanced by adding corresponding to +1 charge to this one and +1 charge to this one. +2 gets converted into +3, and this defect is commonly called as cationic vacancy defect. Based on this, some of the problems will be there. Suppose if they give the compound Fe 0.96, this is O 1.0. One compound is going to be there. They ask about the percentage of Fe+2 and percentage of Fe+3 in that compound. What is the percentage of Fe+2 and what is the percentage of Fe+3 in case of such type of compound? Because already we have discussed in this defect, there is a presence of Fe+2 ion, there is a presence of Fe+3 ion, and here very simple, if the such type of defect is going to be observed by taking the example of Fe only, whether percentage of Fe+2 is more or Fe+3 is more. So more number of Fe+2 are going to be present. Naturally, percentage of Fe+2 is going to be greater when compared to Fe+3. But what is the exact percentage of Fe+2 as well as Fe+3? That we will discuss in one or two numericals after completion of this. Right? Percentage of Fe+2 as well as Fe+3. Simple calculation is going to be related to different type of oxidation state. So this problem is related to what? Cationic vacancy defect. Cationic vacancy defect. Another possibility, this is a type of what? It is a type of metal deficiency defect. Another possibility is going to be considered here. When one of the corresponding anion occupy the interstitial position, anion occupying, second type, anion occupying interstitial position. Interstitial position. In the previous type, metal excess defect, we have considered that cation occupying interstitial position, like that anion occupying interstitial position. But some difficulties are there. I will consider that. Just you observe first. When there is a presence of cation occupying interstitial position, then the question raises why another type anion occupying interstitial position is not possible. Okay. This is going to be the corresponding A plus, this is B minus. I'll mention here, this is A plus, this is A plus, A plus, A plus, A plus, this is A plus, and this is going to be A plus. Right? This position is going to be which one? It is B minus, B minus, B minus, B minus, B minus, B minus, B minus. Right? If you go with this particular solid, arrangement of A plus and B minus is going to be there, and it is a type of what defect? Metal deficiency defect. In that metal deficiency, first one is going to be cation vacancy defect, next one is going to be metal anion occupying what? Interstitial position. Right. Just you observe this one. Here, number of cations should be less when compared to total number of anions. Here, before the defect is going to be observed, the stoichiometry of the compound is going to be completely maintained. Same stoichiometry. Total number of A plus ions is equal to total number of B minus ions. If one of the position is going to be occupying this particular anion B minus, when B minus is going to be taking place or B minus is going to be occupying, not from any of the letters, but extra B minus is going to be occupying here. Just we have discussed about extra cation occupying the interstitial position. Like that, whenever B minus is going to be occupying the interstitial position, then this defect is going to be observed. But generally, this is going to be practically it is going to be difficult to imagine this defect because size of the anion is going to be larger when compared to size of the cation. And when the anion is going to be having larger size anion cannot occupy the smaller interstitial position. Interstitial position is going to be smaller size. So why it is going to be a smaller position is going to be there. That small interstitial position cannot be occupied by larger anion because size of the anion is going to be larger. So in all the different types of solids, wherever the size of the anion is going to be larger when compared to size of the cation, this defect is going to be generally it is not going to be observed. Cation can occupy, metal ion can occupy the interstitial position. Reason is going to be simple. Metal ion is going to be having smaller size, but since anion is going to be having larger size, such type of anion which are having larger size cannot occupy the interstitial position. So practically this defect is going to be somewhat difficult to understand because that reason this defect is generally it is not considered. It's only one type, that is going to be what? Cationic vacancy defect. So these are the two types of non-stoichiometric defect. Non-stoichiometric defect, two types are going to be there. One is metal excess defect. Another two types we have discussed. Metal deficiency defect. These are the two types, but this is going to be generally it is not considered because this anion cannot occupy the interstitial position since it is going to be larger in size. It is only one type, that is going to be cationic vacancy defect. Right? So this is about the second type of defect, that is commonly known as what? The non-stoichiometric defect. Stoichiometric defect and non-stoichiometric defect comes under which type? Point defects. Yesterday we have discussed about complete classification. Point defect, totally three types are going to be there. First one stoichiometric defect, next one non-stoichiometric defect, and third type of defect is known as the impurity defect. It is known as what? Impurity defect. Impurity. This is a third type of point defect. This is generally also known as the process of doping. Doping. Generally, in case of semiconductors, we will come across what? Doping. Impurity defect or the doping process. In case of this particular impurity defect, we are adding certain amount of extra substance, different substance. Here, if I go with the substance, when sodium chloride NaCl is doped with strontium chloride or any particular alkaline earth metal halide, strontium chloride, this defect is going to be generally observed. It is called as impurity defect. Totally defect is going to be arises here, but that is going to be because of the addition of an impurity. Just you observe. This is the structure of sodium chloride NaCl. It is the structure of sodium chloride NaCl is going to be there. NaCl. This is Na plus. Na plus. It is Na plus. Na+, right? At this position, there is a presence of Cl minus. Cl minus. Okay, right. Now, in case of this structure, joining all these lattice sites, okay. When sodium chloride, when composition of Na plus ion is to Cl minus is completely maintained, when it is going to be doped with certain percentage of SrCl2, strontium chloride, this particular strontium ion replaces the corresponding sodium ion from NaCl. When strontium ion replaces the corresponding sodium ion, from this position, Na plus ion is going to be completely. Sorry for inconvenience due to some technical error. Here, in case of this particular impurity defect, as we have discussed, strontium ion replaces the corresponding sodium ion, but one strontium ion replaces whether one sodium ion or two sodium ion, that is the question. Here in case of this one, here sodium ion was present. So here, one of these strontium ion occupies the position of what? Na plus ion. Whether the electrical neutrality is maintained right now after occupying the position of Na plus? No, because positive charges are found to be more in number compared to what? Negative charges. In case of this one, when positive charges are found to be more in case compared to negative charges, another Na plus ion is also completely replaced. This formation of this particular cationic vacancy is going to be created. Right now, when one Sr plus 2 is going to be replacing two Na plus ions, completely the substance is found to be electrically neutral, that is completely electrical neutrality is maintained, and this type of defect where addition of impurity, where doping takes place, is commonly called as what? The impurity defect. So, such type of defect is generally known as what? Impurity defect. So, these are the different type of defects totally. Totally, defects are going to be classified into three types. First one is a point defect, next one is electronic defect, next one is a line defect. Electronic defect and line defect is not included in our syllabus. Point defect, again there are three types. Stoichiometry defect, non-stoichiometry defect, and third one is what? The impurity defect. In stoichiometry defect, again there are four types. First one is vacancy defect, interstitial defect, yesterday we have discussed in detail. Third one is going to be Schottky defect, next one is going to be Frenkel defect. In non-stoichiometry defect, two types are going to be there. Metal excess defect, that is going to be having two types, and metal deficiency defect, two types are going to be possible, but this is going to be another. The question of addition of anion to the interstitial position is not considered because ion is going to be larger in size, that cannot occupy the interstitial position. And third type of defect is commonly known as what? The impurity defect. So one of the question, as I have mentioned earlier, one of the question is going to be about the calculation of percentage of different oxidation state in case of iron or different type of element. If I go with that question, one question I will consider here. Number one, first one, analysis shows that nickel oxide has formula Ni 0.98, this is O 1.0. What fraction of Ni exists? What fraction of Ni exists as Ni plus 2 and what is another one? Ni plus 3. In this question they are asking about the percentage of Ni plus 2 and percentage of what? Ni plus 3. Here what is the total formula of the compound is Ni 0.98, this is O 1.0. In case of this one, we have discussed about this one in case of the previous one, where the compounds are going to be showing variable oxidation states. So what is the percentage of Ni plus 2 and percentage of what? Ni plus 3. Let X be the percentage of this corresponding to Ni plus 2 and 0.98 minus X. 0.98 minus X corresponds to what? This is going to be Ni plus 3. Total compound is going to be Ni. It is 0.98 and this is O 1.0 is present here, right? In this one, Ni plus 2 is going to be taken as this is going to be X, and next one Ni plus 3, this is going to be taken as what? 0.98 minus X. 0.98 minus X. Amount of Ni plus 2, that is going to be X, and amount of Ni plus 3, that is going to be how much? 0.98 minus X. So in case of this one, the X is going to be corresponds to plus 2 oxidation state, 0.98 minus X corresponds to what? Plus 3 oxidation state. If you consider this is plus 2 into this is going to be X, that is going to be 2X, plus this is 3 into oxidation state is 3 into 0.98 minus X, and oxidation state of oxygen is going to be, this is going to be 2 minus 2, or you can take this one as plus into this is minus 2 is equal to 0. It's a neutral compound. As per the rule of oxidation state, sum of the oxidation state of all elements in a neutral compound is equal to 0. This is 2X, 3 into 0.98, this is 24, 3 and 27, 29, this is 2.94. 2.94 minus 3x, this is minus 2 is equal to 0. Minus 3x, this is going to be minus x is going to be there, and this is 2.94 minus 2, that is x value is going to be equal to, this is going to be 0.94. Value of x is going to be equal to how much? It is going to be 0.94. Then percentage of Ni plus 2. Percentage of Ni plus 2 is equal to 0.94 divided by 0.98 into 100. 0.94 by 0.98 into 100. So this value corresponds to how much? 96%. Then percentage of Ni plus 3. Percentage of Ni plus 3 is equal to, this is 4%, because remaining out of 100%, if 96% is going to be for Ni plus 2, then remaining 4% is going to be for Ni plus 3 oxidation state. In examination, instead of nickel, you may come across with iron or some other particular element. Totally, whether it is going to be that substance should exhibit the variable oxidation state. So, such type of problems you may come across. Even it is going to be there in case of NCERT also. Just you can concentrate about that. So, this is about the things or concept what we have discussed so far from the topic, that is solid state. With this solid state, students, we have completed the entire portion, that is class 12 portion, excluding the reduced syllabus. In case of reduced syllabus, 3 topics have been eliminated. One is general principles of isolation of element, that is metallurgy. Next one is going to be polymers and chemistry in everyday life. Excluding those topics, we have completed all the topics right from the first topic what we have started, that is haloalkanes and halogens. On May 1st, I think we have started the online classes. From that day, we have started with haloalkanes and halogens, afterwards alcohol, phenol, ether, after that number of topics, and today is the last day for the completion of the syllabus. So chemistry portion is entirely completed, excluding that reduced portion. No need to worry about the reduced portion. Already CBSE has announced about 30%. Still, we are waiting for confirmation from PU department. Almost it is also going to be 30%, right? And whatever the notes are going to be given, you go according to the NCERT portion only. You know about the what the concepts, what the things are going to be eliminated or reduced from that NCERT syllabus. Go strictly according to that one only, right? In case of notes also, some of the points you have come across which is not included in NCERT, just you can eliminate those different types of points. So this is completion of syllabus, means it is one type of getting the responsibility from the student side. We have transformed our responsibility towards you people, that is completion of syllabus is going to be there. Again, it is not the completion of the academic year. Still, you have to wait for the starting of the NEET and JEE classes. Again, after completion of all the topics, probably from 15th October, hope so, we may start with online classes, that is with NEET as well as JEE, if government does not give permission for offline classes. So, based upon that one, whether it is offline or online, so probably from 15th or 16th onwards, we are going to be starting about the preparation towards competitive examination. By that time, almost all subjects, syllabus or portion will be completed. Today we have completed about the chemistry portion, like that. Within a few days, you may get complete portion of PCMB, including super language also. So after that, we are going to be starting with this competitive classes, that is preparing for NEET as well as JEE mains examinations. So prepare well for the concepts in all the subjects: physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology. Concentrate on all the different types of things. Try to refer different types of references or materials. If you are going to be getting any type of doubt, you are free to ask the doubts through WhatsApp, or you can come in person with your parents' permission, so that clarify all those different types of possible doubts, so that next year you must crack those particular examination, whether it may be NEET examination or JEE examination. So again, we will be back. Other classes, that is physics, mathematics and biology, will be continued. But for chemistry point of view, again we will be back with only NEET classes. Probably we may start how to score at least 160 plus minimum, 160 plus in case of chemistry. We may start with this particular session, and an important session may be there. How to, out of 180 marks, how to get easily this 160 plus in case of chemistry, like that. 650 plus overall, considering the physics, chemistry as well as biology. Students, take care of your health also. That is also an important point. And with that, so prepare for all type of examinations. Thank you, Ananda.